Hello and welcome to a brand new series of Restoration Weekly, where we are looking at the most incredible aircraft restoration projects completed and in progress. Starting with this, the Lewis Air Legend's breathtaking Lockheed Constellation. First, a bit about the aircraft. The Lockheed Constellation, commonly nicknamed the Connie, is a prop-driven, four-engined airliner and cargo transport. Lockheed have been working on a pressurized airliner since 1937. There would be 2 years later that Howard Hughes instigated a request for a 40-passenger transcontinental airliner with a range of 3,500 miles, much further than their previous design. These requirements led to the Lockheed L049 Constellation. The aircraft's wings took large inspiration from the Lockheed P-38 Lightning, obviously differing in size with the wingspan of 126 feet. It also featured a triple tail, meaning the aircraft could be shorter and fit into most hangars. These were features that made the Connie so iconic, as well as allowing it to reach over 375 miles per hour and a max altitude of 24,000 feet. As the Second World War commenced, the aircraft were converted into C-69 Constellation military aircraft, with 202 ordered for the US Air Force. There was also a proposed long-range bomber variant named the L249 or the XB-30, but this aircraft did not make it past the drawing board. The C-69 was mostly used as a high-speed, long-distance troop transport during the war. In total, 22 of these aircraft were built before the end of hostilities, but 7 of these never entered military service. Post-war, the Lockheed Constellation blossomed as a modern and elegant airliner, with the first transatlantic proving flight departed Washington, D.C. on December 3, 1945, arriving in Paris on December 4. As the first pressurized airliner in widespread use, the Constellation helped establish affordable and comfortable air travel. Now you know a bit about the Constellation, let's talk about the subject of today's video, the Lockheed VC-121A Constellation Bataan. The C-121A is a variant of the Constellation, designed as a military transport, with a total of 332 units built. It is a modified variant of Lockheed's second attempt at a military Connie, with the C-69 the first, having failed to meet specifications for the military without fault. Its only difference from the second attempt was a reinforced cargo floor. Constellations would see service during the Berlin airlift, and were even used as transport for President Dwight Eisenhower when converted to the VC-121A. A specially modified VIP variant. The last of the C-121A aircraft were retired in 1968. However, they continued to be used in commercial and civilian hands until 1993. Bataan was the personal aircraft of General Douglas MacArthur, Supreme Commander during the Korean War, and also took part in the Berlin airlift. Shortly after the conclusion of the airlift, the aircraft was withdrawn from service and flown to Lockheed for conversion to a VIP transport for the US Air Force. The cargo interiors were removed, extra windows were added, and the weather radar was fitted to the nose, resulting in a familiar, more pointed nose. After this, it served in several roles, most notably as a NASA aircraft in conjunction with the Apollo program, designated NASA 442. With the cancellation of the Apollo program in 1970, 442 was sent to the Army Aviation Museum at Fort Rucker, Alabama, for public display. After some 20 years out in the open, Planes of Fame Museum purchased the aircraft and restored it to flying condition, fitting it with its original full VIP interior. It then sat from 1995 to 2016 at Planes of Fame's auxiliary location until it was ferried to Chino by Lewis Air Legends, who acquired the airframe with the intention to return it to the Warbird circuit. Now, in terms of the restoration of the aircraft, it has seen the overhaul of all of its major electrical and hydraulic systems, as well as major components such as engines, props, gear, and more. The aircraft tail was completely rebuilt, as well as the stripping and repaint of the entire aircraft. The cockpit has been stripped and simplified to make it easier and safe to fly, as well as the aircraft pressurization system being removed to further simplify the aircraft. For more information on the extensive 8-year restoration, I would advise watching Kermit Weeks' video when he visits the aircraft in January 2023 and has a talk with Steve Hinton. Now, that's it for this week, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on next Monday.